A Kelly File follow-up for you tonight. On Friday, we spoke with a college student who says he was suspended from Colorado State University, Pueblo, for having consensual sex with his friend. Grant Neal says he and his girlfriend were, or this woman that he knew, were having unprotected sex, but she stopped him and asked him to wear protection, which he did immediately. The next day, his girlfriend told her friend about the incident, and that friend thought that this was a rape, even though neither one of the participants thought it was a rape. And so the friend reported it to university authorities. And even though the girlfriend testified to college administrators she was not raped, they did not care. Listen to the part of our interview with Grant and his attorney. Andrew, we have been covering this repeatedly, and what has happened in these cases from college campus to college campus is the administration has set up young college men to have the book thrown at them and basically to be convicted without a lawyer and under a standard that no court would accept. Isn't that true, Andrew?
That's absolutely true. And in fact, what is unfortunately happening is the Obama administration has laid a very heavy hand on the disciplinary process in colleges such that it's virtually assured that an allegation will turn into a finding of responsibility and expulsion.
I've been having to deal with this for so long, and it's just really a really hard thing to do when all the rights that you're given as a natural-born citizen of the United States and as constitutional due process, I didn't even have that. So that was extremely difficult to handle.
What are your odds of reversing this policy or getting the Department of Education to listen?
I think it takes a situation as dramatic as Grant's to have the people of this country and the Department of Education sit up and say, yes, we want to be proactive about sexual assault, but we can't do it at the cost of due process.
Joining me now, Arthur Aidala, who's a New York trial attorney and Fox News legal analyst, and Mark Eiglarz, who's a criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor. Great to see you both. So, Arthur, let me start with you. Did the school get it wrong?
The school probably got it wrong on the facts themselves, but not in the society that we're living in now, Megan. Like what you said and what the lawyer said, we've created, the Obama administration, governors, the legal system, the lawyers have created an environment that once a school is put on notice, and that's what happened when the girlfriend, not the person who engaged in sexual relations, her friend, puts the school, hey, a sexual encounter took place. She didn't want something to happen at first, but then he fixed it. They're on notice, and if they don't do anything, they are absolutely liable for something. But on its facts, of course it sounds ridiculous, but we're the ones who created that.
Mark, it doesn't sound ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Well, neither party thinks that there was a rape.
Of course it's ridiculous. Megan, I looked up in the dictionary under miscarriage of justice, and you know what I found? Not that, because they list words individually. But if they clump them together, they would have miscarriage of justice and this case, because it's fundamentally unfair. No due process, and now he's labeled a sexual offender and can't get into any college.
Listen, Megan,
outrageous.
God bless you for talking about this now. I've been handling cases like this for a decade. That's just the environment that is in education.
No, that's not true. The Obama administration changed the standard to just preponderance of the evidence to basically get yourself booted off campus. You just have to prove by 51% that you were raped, or in this case, that somebody you know on campus was raped. And the accused has very few rights. He's not allowed to confront his accuser. He can't have a lawyer at a lot of these proceedings, Arthur.
You're right. But that's what's been going on in educational facilities for quite some time now. This is not a brand new thing. I've represented people. You're right. I'm not allowed to be there. I'm allowed to write a letter, but I'm not allowed to be there with my client. As a criminal defense attorney, that makes you skin
So you can
crawl.
get a guy labeled a sexual offender and take away his college career. He wants to be a doctor, 3.67 GPA, promising athlete, done. You're done. And good luck getting into another college when you have that on your record. I got to move on because we have two other cases to get to. We're going to continue to follow this case. Mark, our old friend, the neurology resident, very smart young woman, made a very stupid decision. Made a stupid decision. Here she is. Let's watch it. Attacking the Uber driver. She was angry. Yeah, she was throwing things. And, well, she's angry. Yeah, you can see that. And tell us what the deal is now. So her hospital had to make a decision about whether she was going to continue on as a resident there, and...
Yeah, and it was a very easy decision as far as I'm concerned. She is gone. And you know what? She should count her lucky stars that she wasn't stripped of her liberty, because she committed probably about 4 or 5 different offenses that I counted.
But
and
he
probably
didn't
some
press
I don't know
charges.
about.
The Uber driver did not press charges.
Merely because he didn't press charges didn't mean that she didn't commit criminal offenses, and it relieves me, my wife, and my kids of going to Jackson Memorial Hospital here in Miami. I'm not done. And looking at her and saying, that's our doctor, I'll pass on her like the showcase on Price is Right.
If you or your wife or one of your children needed her care at a time when she's sober,
don't ask this question.
You don't really care about her bedside manner or what she does when she's out in an Uber car. You care about her ability to perform her duties as a doctor.
You're right. And it has been called into question by what I see on that video.
Really?
I will pass. I'll wait for the next doctor.
I mean, if we're going to start eliminating all doctors who are prone to fits of rage, we're going to get rid of a lot of doctors.
Yeah, I mean, Mark, the way you and I behaved at Megan's Christmas,
rage,
the way you and
Mark, that's all you saw in that video, Megan?
She said, well, first of all, she had some cocktails. That was clear. But she also said that her father had recently been hospitalized, so you got to give her, you know, a little sympathy for that. And she said... I know something else bad happened. I don't know what it was.
Mark, quite simply, if people saw the way you and I behaved at Megan's Christmas party, they'd say we shouldn't be in a courtroom. But yet, we still go in a courtroom and do a great job every day. So what's the big deal?
Speak for yourself. I saw you at that party. That's all you, my friend. Come on.
All right, wait, I want to shift here. So she's gotten booted from her university, but she has an appeal. Because there's a real question about whether what you do in your off time should really, you know, cost you to lose your job. She didn't do this at the hospital to a patient. Okay. A guy walks into a Whole Foods, Mark, leaves a pastor, and claims that they put an anti-gay slur on his cake that Whole Foods said, we're very sorry, this is terrible. Oh, wait. And they say now he's lying and say they have proof of it. Tell us.
Right. It looks like he's lying. I can't say with certainty, but he then, when he gets home, he then sees it says a gay slur on there, and he claims that the sticker showing the UPC code was at the bottom of the cake. The video that Whole Foods released shows it was at the top of the cake, that he then is probably lying about this experience. Think of what somebody is like to do that. Just think about it for a second. That's the case.
Yeah, I mean,
Whole Foods should own that guy.
So just so you know, the legal part of it is he filed a lawsuit against Whole Foods for picking up his cake that says "love all" or "love everyone," and then it has this
he wanted it to say "love wins," and he claimed they put on "love wins" and then the F word, which is a derogatory term for gay men. And Whole Foods, they looked at the surveillance tape and they finally said that's absolutely false, completely. And now the question is whether Whole Foods should sue him, Arthur.
Okay, but here, going back to the first topic we did. Okay, he's suing Whole Foods because they had a gay slur on there. For what? What's his mental damage? Why is this a lawsuit? Why are we bringing this into court?
Don't jump to damages. Wait, hold on, Arthur. Don't jump to damages. That presupposes they did anything.
But my point is, why is the legal system always involved in these things? Why is it always a lawsuit?
Because if it's true that he made the whole thing up, he was looking for attention. So how do you get attention? You file a lawsuit.
That's the countersuit. So that's the only reason why we're in court. He sued Whole Foods because he picks up a cake and it has this slur on it, and then a couple of days later, after their internal investigation, they say you're lying, and now they're countersuing him. And there's a whole judge who's taking this up.
You lost me, but I do have something important for you, which is, I hope your cake this weekend says, Happy times, Arthur and Marianne. The big weekend. Arthur's taking the plunge.
Yeah. Let me use this.
Congrats, brother.
I'm very happy.
You don't need that.
The greatest girl in the whole world, right, Meg?
You're absolutely right. You got nothing to worry about. It's a match made in heaven, and I am wishing you all the best. All my love to both of you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Two beautiful people in every sense of that word. Great to see you guys.